Hey people, it is Tuesday, June the 15th, and it is 1:20 in the afternoon, and it is around 20 degrees Celsius. And I'm currently walking west on Bloor Street East, just a little bit west of Sherbourne Street. And I'm just going to sort of head south towards home. I was just filming some other videos before this one, which brought me to this area, and I thought, why not just shoot one more video making my way home from this location, maybe taking a different route than I normally take. I would normally walk down Jarvis or Sherbourne, and I might have to eventually go onto one of those streets, but I'm gonna take a walk down Huntley Street here just to see how far I can get while avoiding Jarvis and Sherbourne. Just looking down the Mount Pleasant Road. I'm not sure why this light is taking so long. Maybe I have to push the button. I'm guessing this is a low priority intersection for pedestrians. You certainly don't have to wait this long if you're crossing at Jarvis or Sherbourne. See, she got impatient too. I think if you have to stand there for over a minute, that's way too long. I don't care what the traffic conditions are. Alright, so now we're walking south on Huntley Street. I don't think I've ever walked down this street in any of my videos before. And Jarvis Street is just one block to the west of here. Before someone in the comments corrects me, it's more precisely Ted Rogers Way, but that and Jarvis Street are one and the same. 55 Huntley Street. Where is 100 Huntley Street? I guess I passed it. It's a familiar address for Canadians. It's the name of a religious television show that has been on for as long as I can remember. And here's Linden Street. This is another street I have never set foot on before. It's a very nice old apartment block here. Another one there. So this neighborhood is generally referred to as Upper Jarvis, but it gets lumped in, I think, with adjacent neighborhoods such as Church Wellesley Village and St Jamestown, which are on either side. I was looking west into sort of the southern border of the Yorkville area, which is generally regarded as going south to about Charles Street. And I don't think I'll be able to avoid Jarvis or Sherbourne for much longer. There aren't a lot of other north-south streets that go all the way through. Toronto is built on a grid, but the smaller streets are kind of very haphazard, kind of like a broken grid. It's usually just the major streets that actually extend for kilometers, and the smaller ones might only go a kilometer or so, or sometimes even just a few blocks before they split off. Or hit each other at T-junctions and that sort of thing. Now I think the original Kenny versus Spenny house is right around here. In the first season of the show, they lived in a different place than they did for the rest of the series, and I'm pretty sure it was right around here. I'm not sure exactly which unit or building, but they moved to Sherbourne Street from the second season on, and I've shown that house in previous videos. I know exactly where that one is. So yeah, Kenny versus Spenny, season 1, somewhere around here on Earl Street. Maybe their neighbors didn't like what they were up to in the first season. So now we've been spit back out onto Jarvis Street. As I said, it was going to be hard to avoid it, but I'll try to get off of Jarvis Street again. I know there's another north-south street I can take a little further down. That's between Jarvis and Sherborne. Vincent Massey, that's a very familiar name to most Canadians. This is where he lived at one time, from 1887 to 1911. And Raymond Massey, another very familiar name, from 1896 to 1915. So this was the Massey family mansion. Many of the biggest mansions of the early part of the 20th century were here along Jarvis Street. Most of them are no longer being used as homes, of course. This one here is now a restaurant. It's the Keg Mansion. It's a very well-known, very popular restaurant here in the city. I heard a while ago that there was a possibility that it might be sold. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I haven't heard anything else since then. So here's Wellesley Street. I think this is where I can get off of Jarvis. I'll do another video in the future dedicated to Jarvis Street, walking the full length from the north to the south. It runs all the way down to the Queen's Quay on the shore of Lake Ontario. So now we're walking east on Wellesley Street. Some nice old pre-war apartment buildings. Coral Gables, number 3, number 2, and number 1. There's some neat old apartments. That little cute little wrought iron balcony there. Don't imagine it's much of a balcony for hanging out on, but you can step out onto it by the looks of it. And up ahead you can see St. Jamestown, those white tower blocks. I just recently did a walk cutting through St. Jamestown. It's part of a Cabbagetown walk I did. So now here's Homewood Avenue. We'll head south along here. This is just a residential street. And there's the backside of Jarvis Collegiate. And I'm not sure what project is happening here. If it's connected to the school. I think it is, by the looks of it. Perhaps a new athletic field. I love the look of ivy covering the sides of beautiful old buildings. I think everybody likes that. This street is an interesting mix of some old historic 19th century houses, some detached, some attached row houses, and some more modern additions kind of popping up here and there, and some mid-century apartment buildings, including these monstrous slab apartments from the 1960s. There's like a giant one just up ahead here, sort of looms over the whole street. I've always thought this one was interesting. I call it the skinny house. And here's the giant slab. Try to get out of the sun here. Not really a fan of how a lot of these old slab apartment buildings were sort of built well set back from the street. Like a tower in the park style. That was more common out in the more suburban areas, but they did do it in the heart of the city too. I just wonder if this side of the street was once lined with homes much like the ones on the other side here. I'm going to guess yes. And there you can see the Aura condominium. That's at Yonge and Gerrard. Some old row houses. They kind of each have their own style, but yet they're all connected together. That's pretty common for Toronto. Row houses tend to mix it up here. They're not all uniform and the same like they are in some other cities. Here's another slab apartment. Another nickname for these buildings is commie blocks, as they resemble the apartments you see all around the Soviet Union. Like Moscow was dominated by them. Once you get out of the city center, it's just commie blocks as far as the eye can see. And Toronto is very similar, to be honest. Once you get out of the old city of Toronto into the boroughs, or what were the boroughs, Scarborough, North York, Etobicoke, they're dotted with thousands of those commie block apartment buildings. And I mean like literally thousands. Just crossing Carlton Street. So that's where Homewood Avenue comes to an end. And Allan Gardens. I've been through this park many a time. I'm not sure if that bird is... Yeah, he's okay. Maybe he's just resting. I've never seen a pigeon do that before. Looks like he was suntanning. So I think hopefully Allan Gardens will be opening back up to the public soon. If it hasn't already. I haven't actually looked into it. As in the actual conservatory over there, filled with all kinds of interesting plant life. And there's a cool shot where you can see the financial district and the CN Tower. And there's a full-on shot of the Allan Gardens Conservatory. This park isn't as busy as some other downtown parks. I'm thinking maybe because it's in downtown east, in an area that is kind of regarded as being sketchy by a lot of people in the city. And the park at one time did have a bad reputation, but I don't think that really applies so much anymore. You do see some dudes hanging out, drinking in the park regularly, and sometimes a little bit of shouting and things like that, but it's nothing crazy. I mean, I've been living here for 10 years, and I've never seen anything out of the ordinary while walking through Allan Gardens. Anything that made me go, whoa, what's going on here? Thank you. Just crossing Gerrard Street. And now this is my street. I've been out walking around for hours now, recording videos. This is my third one for today. And I'm looking forward to jumping in the shower and having an ice cream sandwich. So we're coming up to my building here, so I'm going to start to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed my little walk from Bloor Street down some little residential streets, trying to avoid Jarvis and Sherborne, and I think I did for the most part, other than one brief little section along Jarvis. So leave a comment below, let me know your thoughts. And like and share, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there's a link in the description where you can do so via PayPal. And also there's a link to my new merch store. And you can also find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.